Welcome to Purposeful Living, for impacting generations with your host, Apostle Charles Samunenge, causing families, children, men and women to collide with their purpose.
Welcome to Purposeful Living. Today we are discussing a topic. We continue discussing actually the topic, be wise before you say I do. Marriage is one of those important decisions you could ever make in life, and you don't joke with such a decision, because whosoever you marry has the potential of enhancing your life or really putting your life to a stop. So before you say I do, before you step onto that altar and marry somebody, be wise. Wisdom is a principal thing. Proverbs 4 verse 7 says, wisdom is a principal thing. With all you're getting, get wisdom, get understanding. Wisdom is that ability to look back and see where you're coming from as an individual, to look at your background, to look at your experiences. It's also the ability to look or to have insight in exactly what's going on right now in your life, to have an ability to see right now what's going on in your life, and also to have a foresight to see how your life is going to look like in the years to come. So before you say I do to somebody, seek wisdom, ask God for wisdom. It's always important before you say I do to look at certain things. Foolishness destroys, but wisdom will build your relationships. James 1 verse 5 says, if anyone lack wisdom, let him ask of God. So it's important to pray and ask God even before you say I do to somebody. Wisdom is the principal thing. Wisdom is your defense. It will defend you from making foolish or destructive decisions in life. Wisdom is that ability to rightly apply knowledge, the things that you've been learning over years, over time, over a period of time. Wisdom is going to help you produce good results, especially in relationships. Today, we're going to again continue on things you must look at before you say I do. One of the things we're going to look at today before you say I do is the issue of understanding that if you are not happy as a single person, trust me, marriage is not designed or the key to happiness, completeness, or fulfillment. Right in your own way, you must be able to create your own joy, your own happiness, so that you don't demand that from somebody you're going to get married to. So really know this. You must understand, if you are not happy single, marriage is not the key to happiness. No human being can make you happy. No human being can make you fulfilled. No human being can make you feel complete. Only God can do that. So don't get married because you want to feel happy. Marriage is not the key to happiness, because God's plans actually and destined for your life are greater than marriage. So you are complete in yourself. You're complete in the issues of destiny before even marriage comes into play. So always know that you don't get married because you want to be fulfilled or because you want to get happy. Because if you do that, or if you come to a relationship with that kind of attitude, you're going to begin to demand from your partner that which they are not able to deliver. And in the process of time, you get really frustrated and you begin to think, this is not working for me, and jump out. Yet it's because you came with a wrong expectation, thinking whosoever you marry is going to help you get fulfilled. No, they can only enhance that which God has already put in you, destiny, giftings, and talents. But they are not designed to make you full. Only God can do that. The other thing that you have to really get into place or understand before you get married is the issue of toxic soul ties. Toxic soul ties. The word toxic can talk about poisonous or things that distort your identity. What is a soul tie? A soul tie is a link between one or between two or more people A soul tie is that which links you to other people around you. It could be your family, it could be friends, it could be people around you, but it's a link. It's just like you can have a link to a website, a link to an article, a link to whatever it is. So in other ways, a link gives you access into a website, into whatever happens, into whatever it is that you're linked to. It gives you access. So when we talk about soul ties, we're talking about links. A soul tie actually is a link between two or more people. Usually this link interferes with your lifestyle. It can also interfere with the way you make decisions. It can also interfere with your capability to make right decisions, depending on who you are tied to, depending on who you are linked to. One of the things the Bible says is, be careful. Bad company corrupts good manners. So if you are linked or you're so tied to bad people or bad friends, it may affect the way you make choices, especially in the realm of relationships. One of the ways soul ties are also created is when you are entangled or you begin to entertain illegal sex operations or activities. That way you can create a soul tie with somebody and you may be having things coming from their lives that can interfere with your decision making. So be careful. Soul ties can also come in with the wrong friends. Soul ties can also come in with idolization of certain people. Soul ties can also be created by words spoken between people when they're speaking to each other. So that can also create a soul tie. So be careful who speaks in your life. Be careful who you are idolizing, because that can also begin to interfere with your relationships or begin to interfere with the way you make decisions in terms of who to marry. So you must deal with soul ties, certain negative, toxic soul ties, even before you say I do, because they're going to be influential in the way you are going to relate with your partner. So be careful of soul ties before you say I do. One of the other areas that you need to be careful of when you're making a decision in terms of who you're going to marry, because remember, who you marry is important for your life, is important for your future. They will either influence you for evil or influence you for good. They will either limit your capacity to be great or enhance it. So be careful who you're going to marry. One of the things that you have to look at also in terms of choosing a life partner or who you're going to marry is your partner, is your fiancé or somebody you're going to get married to, are they really children of God? Are they really converted? That is very important also. It's very, very important. It's very key. Don't look down upon it, because if they don't know God the way you know God, they are also going to cause problems in your life. The other thing you must maybe take care of is ask yourself certain questions. Is the person I am dating, is the person that I'm planning to get married, is my fiancé, me and my fiancé, do we have serious incompatibilities which might be sources of perpetual disagreements and fights later in life? Look at the differences. If the differences outweigh or the differences look like they're going to cause perpetual problems in the future, then you better think twice. Ask yourself a question. Is this person compatible with my intellectual levels, my energy levels, etc.? Because incompatibilities in certain areas can also be a perpetual place of problems later. So check those things out also. One of the things that you have to take note of before you say I do is this question you have to ask yourself. Can I love this person for the rest of my life with all his weaknesses or with all her weaknesses? Now, after looking at that person and looking at their weaknesses and looking at their strengths, you ask yourself a question. Am I able to handle these weaknesses for the rest of my life? Because sometimes people get into a relationship because they say, okay, I see these weaknesses in this person's life. I think they'll change or whatever. But before you believe that, you must ask yourself, in case they don't change, can you handle those weaknesses that are in their lives? It's very, very important before you say, I do. And one of the areas that you should look at also is areas of your potential or goals or visions that are in your life, things you want to achieve. And when you look at that person, the man or the woman that you're dating, the man that you're believing to be your future wife, are they able to complement your vision and purpose in life? Do they have the capacity to help you become what you're supposed to become? If they don't, then you better think twice. One of the areas also, or one of the issues that you must look at, which is a social issue or social responsibility. Do you feel confident to introduce this person to your parents, to your friends, or to your pastor? Do you feel really confident? Because sometimes if you've got fears or you've got, you're not confident about bringing this person before your friends or your what, it could also show signs of a problem later. So if there's no confidence introducing that person to the people that matter in your life, you might be dealing with a problem. Check that out. Another issue that you might look at is, what about his friends? What about her friends? Do you accept them also to be your friends? What are the kind of people does this person love or love hanging around with? That is also very key, because it's going to give you an idea of what you're dealing with. Maybe another thing before you say I do that you must look at the health issues. What are the health issues you are dealing with, or what are your partners dealing with? What are the plans also concerning those health issues? So it's very important to look at all these things, because they impact on your relationship later in the future. Yeah. And another thing that you have to look at that can impact also that relationship is, do both of you have sources of income? If not, what are the plans concerning those sources of income? Because it's very important, because those things usually, financial issues usually impact on relationships. We've seen it over and over again. So you must look at that also. Don't just jump and say, love, I just love this person. Love is not enough. You must look at other areas of life. Because if they don't have a source of income and they have no plans on how they're going to deal with that, you are heading for trouble. So check on those things. Don't just jump into a relationship because you feel emotionally attached, or you feel like it's just a good idea. You feel love, the feeling of love, trust me, it goes up and down. And finally it gets on a straight line and it normalizes. And what you're going to do, because now you have to face real life on the ground. One of the things you also need to look at as you are planning, as you are dating, as you are looking at somebody to get married, what is the key issues? Is the person you're trying to get married to, are they transparent in life? Are they free to tell you things? Are they transparent? Or are they people that are secretive in nature? Because you might be dealing with a problem. Are you free with each other? Can you able to talk about certain topics, certain things freely? Are they transparent? Is that person transparent? If they have got a lot of secrets, they have got a lot of mysterious secrets or a mysterious lifestyle, trust me, you may be heading for trouble later. One of the things you must look at maybe is concerning who you're going to marry, is can you talk to the other person about controversial issues without quarreling and anger? Because it also exposes the levels of maturity in the person. In life, you won't always agree. No matter how much you love each other, you won't always agree. But the question now is, can this person you're planning to marry talk about controversial issues or topics without getting angry, or without really walking away or banging doors, or just behaving in a funny way? Because marriage demands that we mature and be able to handle differences. One of the important issues also that is very key in when you're going to get married to somebody, or you're deciding who to get married, is to ask yourself this question. Is your belief system on issues of spirituality, social life, morality, finances, and even material things, are we mutually compatible? Because these issues are very, very important in life. If issues of spirituality, social life, morality, if the differences are too much, it shows that you're going to maybe have some challenges later in life. Belief systems can cause chaos in relationships. This is one of the things that I'm going to, again, begin to emphasize. Let's add some more things because these are important issues. Marriage is not a joke. Marriage is something that is a lifetime commitment, a lifetime covenant commitment. So you have to be really serious as you step into it. One of the things that you must also take note of or ask yourself a question is, does my partner have elements of secrecy in certain areas of their life? Are they living a mysterious lifestyle? Are there gaps? Are there things that you really don't understand about him or about her? Be careful. Be careful. Watch those things. Does your partner have a teachable spirit? Are they humble enough to learn new things? These are questions that you must ask yourself. What is your partner's level of commitment to the things of the kingdom of God? What ground are they standing on? Are they committed to the kingdom expansion, to kingdom things? Because that is very important for you to know. Is your partner submitted to a local church authority, or are they submissive to authority? Because that will define, especially when you begin to have problems. Because if they're not submitted to authority, they're going to give you a problem. Every time you've got a situation and you need to take it maybe to a third party for counseling or things like that, they're going to give you a problem. It won't work until they know how to be submitted to authority. Where are you going to attend church and the level of participation? These questions are very important. Where are we going to go for church after we get married? And the level of our participation at church. Discuss these things. These are very key important because they give problems later when you're married. What about children? Do they have children from previous relationships? And what is the plan around those children? You have to discuss these things. You have to discuss these things because later, if you take it for granted, oh, they have a child, but I don't care. I'm just going to get married. No, you discuss what are the levels of involvement concerning those children. How are you going to treat those children? What's going to happen to those children when we are married? It's very important so that children can grow up properly and so that you don't have unnecessary strife around the children. Are there any doubts about the relationship? Or do you have reservations concerning this person's parents, friends, family, or even a type of job they do or work they do? Please take note of these things because later on they'll give you a problem. And one of the important things that you have to take note, this is about you, is about your partner. Listen, are you delivered from me, myself, and I? That is called selfishness. Are you delivered from me, myself, and I? Before you say I do, you must be free from me, myself, and I. That is very, very key. That's very, very important. But does this person, concerning social life, concerning morality, concerning finances, concerning material things, do you at least believe the same way? Let there be differences yet, but not serious differences. If the differences are serious in these areas, trust me, they grow as people grow. So be careful as you deal with those things. Before you get married, be careful about these things. It is very, very important. Don't just run and say, because I love this person, I'm just going to get married. Trust me, life doesn't go like that. Life is more than love. Life is about principles. It is about morality. It's about what you believe. It's about a lot of things. So it's very important for you, especially you young people that are still dating, that are still looking for someone to marry. Take note of these things. It will help you deal with many issues later. As you ponder on these things, I challenge you, think carefully, think strategically, and let God help you. In Jesus' name, and be blessed as you think about these things.